Hello, readers. Welcome to our cover reveal of the second book in the Misplaced Adventures universe. This is the first book in the second series. It's a Seed Once Sown in the Huntress and Harvester series by Jessica Rainey. Welcome, Jessica.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me here on this podcast situation. It is a novel thing that I am doing now here.
Never, ever been on this Twitch channel for any reason, nor do we know each other at all. I love that. Jessica Rainey grew up in the hills of southeastern Ohio looking for the Mothman and every other thing that goes bump in the dark Appalachian night. These days, she resides in Houston, Texas, and translates her love for Appalachia and dark things into stories that combine crime, fantasy, and horror into Appalachian supernatural noir. So excited. That's a whole nother series we get to talk about. So I'm wondering, loving all this nature and all of these fantasies involved with horror, what is it about Misplaced Adventures that drew you to it?
So it's the sword and sorcery, it's the fantasy aspect for me. So I always kind of had it in my mind. I wanted to write some kind of a horror, maybe even a Western dark fantasy. And this was just the perfect kind of like way to do that for me. So hopefully, I hope.
Well, I am proofreading it right now, and it's fantastic. So y'all are in for a treat. So we don't want to make you suffer. This is a nice, quick podcast. We want you to see the cover. So let us reveal. And I'm going to assume it's revealed. We need like a sign. This is where the gong needs to happen. Is it revealed? Can you all see it? Can you see how awesome it is?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yep. Jen says it is. It is revealed. Woohoo! Yeah, beautiful horsies. Yes, the horsies are very important. Let me read while you're looking at this gorgeous cover. Let me read the back description copy. And Zafo, if you'll put the pre-order up, you already did. Look at that. He rocks. Good job. Let me read the back cover copy, and then we will talk about those incredible horses. So the seeds of a legend grow in tales told around campfires and in whispers in dark corners of taverns. Magdalena Veron is a legend, a hunter who never misses her mark or loses a bounty. But now that legend is about to come to an end. For over 300 years, she's harvested souls as an indentured servant to a pair of bickering gods. With her team of horses and an impressive magical blue scythe for a hand, Mags is poised to deliver the last soul she owes. Then her debt will be settled, and the gods can go pick on someone else for a change. But life, even when centuries old, is never that simple. And reaping leaves behind scars on the families and the harvester. Before she can turn in her scythe, Mag's past transgressions catch up to her in the form of a trio of young criminal wannabes. Saving them just might be a way to balance her sins. But between the involvement of the gods and the trio's own recklessness, Magdalena finds her skills and patience tested. Somehow, Mags must find a way to avoid angering the gods further, complete her new bounty without adding more black marks to her soul, and save the trio of young adventurers who seem determined to wind up dead. Pulled in multiple directions, Mag's legendary skills are put to the test. One misstep, and she endangers the lives of her young companions and her own soul. Ooh, so exciting! I love it. I'm so happy with this, Jess. Hopefully you had fun with this one as well.
I did. I love the cover. I really wish that you would have shown the wonderful concept art I sent you about the cover. That would have been something to put up alongside of it so you can see just how good your cover artist really is to take what I drew and made this beautiful thing.
You're actually right. We should totally do that next time because it's really, because the thing is though, it's perfectly served its purpose.
Yeah. And it's like I said, it is a testament to her that she looked at that and went, okay, here you go. And I mean, I really just, when you sent it to me, I was like, this is exactly perfect for what I wanted. And I love the color. I think we kicked around changing the color to something else, but like to blue because Mags's hand is blue, but I don't think that's the right call. I love the red. I love the red. So I'm excited.
Yep, I am also excited. It looks incredible. The horses, everyone pulled on the horses right away. We do love our horses, don't we? So the horses, what are their names?
Yeah, their horses' names are Duck and Goose.
Mm-hmm.
So
and
they're
Magdalena,
big horses.
She's been around 300 years, right? So, bonding with humans and stuff is hard, but horses have even a shorter life. Yet she has this very special bond with them. Why was it important for you to include that?
I love this idea of, she travels around with these horses and they know what she wants them to do before she knows what they want them to do. As you can see behind me, I have a few creatures that dwell in here and, I live by myself with them. So they do the same thing, except they do the opposite of what I want, but they know what I want. They just do the opposite of it.
That's why she doesn't have cat companions.
Yeah. So if she had cats, they would be unuseful and whatever. And two, I'm kind of drawing on my favorite things from sword and sorcery and fantasy stuff. Like, Xena has Argo, her horse, that is basically another character on the show, and they're very close. I was thinking of the Beastmaster, and the Beastmaster gets all these animals that, kind of like all the animals serve a purpose in the team, right? Even the little ferrets rob people, and he has a giant, somewhat tiger situation, but like the Beastmaster. So I'm kind of like going for stuff like that, and that's where the horses come in. And then I had this idea like that. She's kind of like, she doesn't have to go fast anywhere usually. So these are big, giant war horses. And I did a lot of weird research about horses, about what breed would be right. And of course, as a writer, like only 1% of that ever makes it into your book. But that's the kind of stuff that I was really looking at here. I wanted these to be big, heavy war horses that are basically humans with horse form. That's all.
So. Yeah, it makes it much more interesting. That's part of the reason why we like fantasy, right? So I 100% agree. And agree. I'm laughing because the chat is completely logged on to scythe pens. Ethan even looks them up.
To have them?
Yeah, that's a good idea. There's some on Amazon, so I think that's hilarious. So I don't know. We might have to get scythe pens.
I can make that into bookmarks. I'm a pretty good bookmark maker. I can make scythe bookmarks.
I mean, I think that would be awesome. So yeah, that's funny. Yeah, no.
If I sign it with a scythe pen, I probably should sign it in blood, right? Like that would be novel or weird.
I mean, it'll only fit and it'll match this gorgeous red cover.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a red cover at all, I don't believe.
Nope. Yeah. And so everyone new who's coming on for all of these Misplaced Adventures series, each one will have a different color for all of the covers in that series. So for this one, Huntress and Harvester, they will all be red. And so Huntress and Harvester, why is it called Huntress and Harvester?
Yeah, so the main character, Mags, is a bounty hunter, but she's caught between these two gods that Kevin created in his world. The first one is Machi the Huntress, and the other one is Kohak the Harvester. So Kohak is like death. He runs around taking souls. And that's kind of where this started. I was like, let's cut people's heads off. I mean, I promised classy beheadings, and I have delivered classy beheadings.
Classy beheadings.
I love a beheading. I love The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. I love beheadings are just interesting and terrifying. So I wanted to do that, and then I wanted her hand to turn into the weapon. So she is the weapon, literally and figuratively. So that sounds a lot more fancy than I'm competent than I actually am, but yeah, so.
Oh, you 100% are, because the very first scene is, giving nothing away, it's the very first scene, is of Mags taking, using her scythe, taking a harvest. And I mean, it's so visceral, it's so real, you're so into it. And it really sets up exactly what it is that she has to deal with, the thing that she has had to deal with for 300 years. And if anyone is curious about how the whole darn thing started, then you want to get Last Night at the Jolly Chicken. The short story for how it all started is in there. So you can see Mags when she was sweet and young and innocent.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to write. And I think it was really important for me to write that before I started writing the book, because I really needed to have that backstory in mind, what I was going to do. Unfortunately, it's a testament to the editing process, because I kind of forgot that maybe not everybody would have read that short story, although I certainly hope everyone reads the short story. But I forgot about that you might possibly pick that book up and have never read the short story. So you'd be like, what? I don't understand any of this mess. What is going on here? So big thanks to my editor, Jessie, because she was like, you perhaps would need to explain a little bit more than you have explained here. So hopefully that worked out. But she was amazing.
Yeah, she's awesome. And she will be at the book launch, which is September 19th.
Yes.
Right? Yes, September 19th. So that is a Tuesday. It'll be here on 20 questions, very special edition. So do not miss the launch. But you can pre-order it right now, as Jay did. Jay has ordered it, and she says you have to sign her Kindle edition. So sorry, this is now a requirement.
Yeah. Oh, I will.
Yeah.
I'll sign all of it.
You asked for it, Jay. I don't want to hear it. This is what happens. Awesome. So the pre-order is up twice, apparently. So that's awesome. And because this is the cover reveal and we really want to know what we are in for, do you have a sample ready to read for us?
I do.
Yay!
Let me figure out how to make this happen here.
And they were asking what kind of horses on there. And I've said Percherons are the ones that we have talked about the most, but I don't know if that's where you ended up.
I kind of ended up with Shire horses. They're like the biggest, most gigantor horses I could find in like the interwebs. So I kind of ended up with them because they have the fancy feathers on there. You know, like they're very distinctive looking. Yeah. I looked at Percherons. I mean, when you look at like medieval war horses, there's definitely a breeds that evolved out of those. That makes me sound like I know anything about horses. I basically do not. Kelly had to take me out to an actual horse and let me pat it and stuff. I did brush it.
Oh, please. You were so happy. It was like a kid in a candy factory.
I was happy. I honestly, if my job all day was to like take care of horses and make them all pretty and all that all day and just make them happy, I would be a very happy person. So.
Yeah. Nope. I can understand. He got his feet done today. He's all handsome.
Oh, I'll have to go back and see him. Because I love that horse.
Handsome. He's pretty sweet. All right. So we are going to get to the reading. Hold on. Zafo's going to change it so it's just you and I can like.
I'm so glad I can't see that Twitch stream to see that. So. I mean me, not you picking your nose. I don't want to see that either, but it's fine. All right. So here we go. If you kick that horse again, you won't be riding, and it's a long way to deep nodding. Mags's tone wasn't exactly conversational, but it was calm, possibly even pleasant, yet the delivery somehow managed to convey the threat. She stalked Duck and let Goose pull even with them. Both animals were so well trained that no matter how hard Bog kicked, neither would go any faster or any place Mags didn't direct them. But still, Bog struggled. He worked to untie his hands and kicked his mount in an effort to spur him forward. Goose turned his head and laid his ears back. Mags dismounted from Duck and soothed him. He pressed his big head to her chest, and she scratched him behind his ear in that place he liked. Then she turned her attention to the grubby rat-faced man. She smiled at him, and he spat at her, then kicked Goose again. Mags yanked him from the saddle and threw him to the ground. The force knocked the breath from him, and he rolled over and clutched at his chest as he struggled to breathe. Mags put a knee to his chest, grabbed his greasy hair, and punched him squarely in the nose. It crunched and squelched at the same time, a satisfying and just sound, then exploded in a bloom of red as blood gushed from it. She grabbed his hair again and held him still. Riding is a privilege. If you can't do it properly, you can walk. Why should I give a fiddler's fart about your beast? You know, Bog, the bounty on you is more with you alive, but I'll be fine with half the value for just your head. Mags smiled at him and tilted her head as his eyes widened. What do you think, Goose? Would you prefer just his head? The big horse stomped his foreleg and nodded. Duck did the same in agreement. Mags looked down at the bloody mess that was Bog and shrugged. They're fine with half pay. Bog whimpered and clutched at his ruined nose as he scooted away and shook his head. Mags held up her blue hand and wiggled her fingers. She smiled as she approached the terrified man. He panicked and screamed as he scrambled in the dirt, unable to find his feet. Mags was on him quickly, and she planted a boot on the side of his head, pinning him to the ground. Please, no, not that. Mags nodded. You're right. This blade isn't for you. But if you kick my horse again, it will be. Do you understand me? She stepped harder on his face. I won't kick him no more. Excellent. He'll be happy to hear it, and I'll be happier with full price.
I love it.
Yes. Yes.
Yep. Nope. LRB says, I like her. I like her too. I like her a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to write. And she's not she's the POV character, but she's not the only one that I wrote in this. It's a challenge to write this many characters in pretty much every scene. So that's been a learning process for me. I'm used to writing maybe 1-2 characters at the most, group of people, and a party of adventurers isn't normal for me to write at all. So it's been good.
Yeah, it is hard to make sure everyone's in every scene, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise you get somewhere, you're like, where did they go? And then suddenly they pop up. You're like, they were there the whole time. You're like, I didn't see them. Yeah, I feel you. I do that same thing. I swear, or I'll write a whole chapter and completely forget to put a character in there.
Yeah, well, where was that? Where were they at in this whole thing? I'm like, they were there.
I swear, I'm sorry you couldn't see them. They were right there. I'll make a fart or something. I'm sorry. Hold on, I'll go back.
Yes.
Whatever you need to do. No, but you've done a masterful job, and I'm really excited, and I can't wait. Now, we are going to ask for early readers soon. So if people want to get on the early reader list, where can they go?
You can sign up at my website for my newsletter. I'll pull them from the newsletter people. Let me know. Send me an email at jrainey213@gmail.com. I'd be happy to let you know. I'll also put a call up on the Facebooks and the Instagram. So if anybody's on there, just hit me up on that. And yeah, don't forget to sign up. Go to my website. It's jessicarainey.com. Sign up for my newsletter. You get free stuff in the newsletter and free short stories and whatnot. And you never know, I might put up a couple of in-betweener short stories in between these books. So if there's something that happens in between, it'll be probably released through that. So please sign up. Please.
It'll be so fun.
Please.
I mean, really, do you want all of these ads on your Facebook and Twitter and everything, or do you want just the information from the authors you like? That case, that's what the newsletter is for.
Yep.
So sign up, curate your own life, because no one else is doing it for us. So we will see you on September 19th for this book launch for A Seed Once Sown. I should also say, because I don't know if I said her name out loud, that the cover artist for this is Molly Phipps. She could not be here tonight, or today, this afternoon, right now. So we had to do it without her, but that's we could not do the cover without her. And she is from We've Got You Covered book covers. So she's quite talented, and you'll be seeing a lot of her with the Misplaced Adventures.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's pretty darn good, I have to say. I like it. I just like how she puts movement in there. I love movement in covers. I don't like them when they're just static. I like them to move, and she does that. So I like it. So September 19th is the book release at 8 p.m. Central right here on twitch.tv/cursedragonship. You can also, if you want a taste of Misplaced Adventures and you just cannot wait until September 19th, you can also get One Good Eye is out right now, just released last week from Jen Bear, who's in the chat right now. So that one's incredible. You can get that first book there, and that is the purple color. Or you go all the way back to the originals. You have Misplaced Mercenaries by Kevin Petway. That's what started this all off. All 5 of those complete series are out, and you can go get those as well. So read all those, have fun. If you haven't touched any of them, you don't have to read this book, but you'll want to. So
yes,
we'll see you soon. Do you have any last words, Jess?
Stay classy.
Stay classy. I love it. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and we'll see you soon. Bye.